Hello. I'm not going to be talking about Ukraine today, but I am going to talk about some of the reactions I got to my last video. Now, every time I do talk about Ukraine, I get a lot of reaction to the effect that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm wrong. Well, I'm human, and I could be wrong. I don't think I am. Personally, as I said before, as I have said on many occasions, if only on the grounds that you're not supposed to be invading other countries, Russia shouldn't be in Ukraine. However, maybe I am wrong about that. Maybe there are wheels within wheels that I don't know about. I'm sticking to my particular guns, though. Some of the reactions I get are genuine and put forward arguments that I don't happen to find convincing, but I can see the logic. What interests me are the reactions which don't address any of my arguments, but simply accuse me of being old, confused, and ugly sometimes. This happens every time I refer to the Ukraine business. Every single time I get quite a lot of these. So either it's bots using an algorithm that checks for whatever could be seen as the most negative aspect of my particular personality, which obviously in this case is thought to be age, or it could be ordinary, I suppose, younger men who can't forgive any woman for being so careless as to have headed out of her fertile years. But whichever it is, what interests me most is why, as a society, many people, and not just men, obviously, believe that drawing attention to a woman's age invalidates her opinions. In my opinion, one of the big problems with our society is that older women are seriously underused. Let's consider many women take time off their careers early on because of child-rearing duties. Many women take underpaid or part-time jobs for the same reason. During my kids' earlier years, I was working as a supply teacher rather than a full-on teacher, and so I didn't make my way up the educational greasy pole because of that. Well, looking at it now, maybe that was a good idea, but at the time it was quite frustrating. And then let's get back to most older women. When their children are of an age that would allow the mother to get serious about work outside the home, she's possibly in her mid-30s or even her 40s, and she's already thought of as being way past her best. And that's the problem, because women in this older group haven't been sitting around painting their nails for the previous 15 years. They've been handling hysterical toddlers, surly teenagers, negotiating with bone-headed teachers. Oh my God, how many of those have I come across? And very frequently dealing with the household accounts, budgeting, and possibly the family tax returns as well. Many women of that age have learnt a lot about public transport, social problems, possibly committee skills of various sorts, budgeting, as I said, and problem solving of various sorts. Also engaging other people to work for them. Many people have to employ gardeners, builders, decorators, that sort of thing, or even scheduling the gardening, decorating and building on their own. It's the sort of basic education you have to know just how to deal with people, problems, and officials of various sorts. And then, of course, there's all the stuff you learn having to help the kids with their homework. I'm not saying that every middle-aged woman is a paragon of efficiency and wide general knowledge. What I am saying, though, is that many middle-aged women have a wide array of non-specific skills which are largely ignored by society and for similar reasons to the ones I detailed in the reaction to my Ukraine videos. For instance, it's quite obvious that many men would employ as a PA an attractive young woman rather than a 14-year-old ex-housewife. But that 40-year-old ex-housewife might know a lot more about dealing with various awkward customers than the attractive young woman. And I have nothing against attractive young women. I was one myself, I might say, and I enjoyed the attention. On the other hand, it was very distracting. And I know that I didn't know as much about life as I do now. And I'm quite sure, looking back, that my negotiating skills or my sensitivity to certain situations weren't as good as they are now. That's a general social problem, which I think maybe more people should take notice of. And, I'm not saying that this is a good thing, by the way, but there's a lot of talk about diversity and employing people of various sorts of physical appearance, either to do with skin colour or perhaps disability. But nobody is talking about older women in that category. By the way, I'm not suggesting that they do. I'm just showing how this is a sort of invisible problem. And I do think that this background tendency is a bad thing for society and a true waste of resources. However, as for you bots and you bottom feeders who think that talking about my age means that I don't make any sense in my arguments, well, look, all I have to say to you is that you can swim there in the murky waters of your mentality, and what I'll do is I'll just sit here in the sun and throw some stale bread in every so often and watch you race to the surface to grab a soggy morsel. I find it rather amusing. All right, and I am Graniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. I'm also on Twitter and Gab, where I let you know when I've uploaded new videos and occasionally post a quip. All the links are in the description, including links to donation sites, if you wish to use them. If you don't wish to use them, no sweat, but do click that like button and please subscribe. And remember to, if you're on YouTube, hit that notification bell as well. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Grambo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.